Alright, so I just woke up and I was up to about 2 a.m., a little over 2 a.m. after 2 a.m. last night. College kids upstairs were having a party, typical Thursday night. I'm a night owl anyway, though. I stay up pretty late. I was finishing up my taxes. I kind of, having the lifestyle I have, it's a real privilege to be able to stay up late and sleep in, and so I take advantage of it while I can. But I definitely like to sleep in the winter because it's a lot warmer. In the summer, when we're camping, get up earlier, catch the day. But right now I'm kind of lazy and just trying to get as much sleep as possible. But yeah, so it's almost 10 o'clock and I'm going to have my first calories of the day. Alright, so usually I can't even talk until I have some of this. So I usually use the AeroPress. I've used all sorts of coffee devices over my years, and I'm just going to drink this French roast plain, but I ground it up and I'll press it with some hot water and make a couple shots in my giant coffee mug that Sandy gave me. It's a good 2 cups, so that's always nice to have to sip on in the morning because it gets my day going. It's a tradition. It's a ritual, so to speak. Now to eat, we're gonna indulge in one of these bad boys. And I've gotten really into a bad habit and spoiled with eating these. They're expensive and they're not real great for you, I admit. But typical day, I love to eat something like this, or at least a piece of toast with almond butter on it. And these are kind of remind me of European style pastries, but they're not very big. They're frozen. I just throw one in the oven. It looks like it's only 250 calories. So they are pretty sweet though. They've got some sugar, 4% of your iron. That's important. But I only have one, and I'm gonna put a bunch of almond butter on it after I pop it in the oven here. So into the oven we go. I'm just gonna throw it on the rack there. And I know I should be eating healthier. I just sometimes I have a sweet tooth and I love the carbs. Something sweet with my coffee. It's my first indulgence of the day. So before I even drink my coffee, I'm gonna drink like a cup of water because I'm really, really parched and thirsty. You wake up in Colorado at altitude and it's dry out, you get really thirsty, and because of the altitude as well, your hydration requirements are a little more demanding, so gotta hydrate with some good old nice water. So we've got our condensed AeroPress shot there, and it's pretty intense, so we're going to add some hot water to it, make it Americano essentially, quote unquote. Nice too. This is the lifeblood. Overbaked my waffle a little bit this morning. Now we're going to put some good stuff on. Sandy and I get this ground while we grind the almond butter ourselves at the store because it's a little more affordable. It's still ridiculously expensive, but I like to put quite a bit of just plain almond butter on my waffles or toasts. And if it's toast, which is healthier and not as sweet as this waffle, of course, I usually put a lot of this Flora, I get it from Flora Health, Manuka honey. Really good, high quality honey. Super sweet, but good. Pairs well with the coffee, I think, and the almond butter. But we're not going to do that because this waffle has sugar and it's really sweet anyway. So I'm just going to put some more globs of almond butter on before I eat. So there you have it. Typical breakfast at 10 a.m. It's so good. So good. Love it. So cheers. So yeah, usually, it is about 10 a.m. and now I sit down and actually do some work while I eat my waffle and coffee. And it's a luxury lifestyle I have. Again, when I used to run, in school I used to always wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and I hated it. I am not an early bird, I am a night owl. And of course at Hanson's Brooks, we used to always run by 7:30, be out running by 7:30. That was fun in the summer. In the winter, it was a little rough because they wouldn't plow their roads, and it also was a lot colder in the morning. So, you know, now that I have the option to sleep in and live this lifestyle while it lasts, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I'm gonna be a night owl and work late at night because that's when actually I get a lot of my best video editing done as well. But now I'm gonna get into some emails. I usually do this for at least an hour to digest my food before I actually start my first workout of the day. So here we go. Oh, hey there. Yeah, so now it's about 11:19 a.m. and I'm gonna head out on the Boulder Creek path here pretty soon to do an up-tempo workout. And you know, an average day I'm not doing quality workout, so to speak, but this one's not going to be too hard, hopefully. Usually I'll just run in the morning. If it's just an easy mileage day, which are most of my days, I'll run anywhere between like 10 or 12 miles on the creek path. Training for a marathon, I should say. But that was when I was at my peak, like maybe 4 weeks before LA, when I was running 120, 125 miles a week, and I needed to average over 17 miles a day, 17 or 18 miles a day most regular days. So usually when I'm doing that, I'm gonna run twice a day, and I'll run kind of around this time in the morning. Barely, it's almost afternoon, but I'll run you know, the 10 to 12 miles easy, and then I'll do a shorter double later in the evening. And back in the winter, it was right before it got dark. But today we'll see if I double or not. I am tapering a little before Boston, so you know, if I run 10 miles in one workout, then that's probably good enough, because I'm not going to be running over 80 miles this week, with Boston being a little more than a week and a half out. So it's not a total typical day, but we're doing a moderate quality workout today, and it's going to be an up-tempo run. Sandy and I call that up-tempo phrase. If you go on our Sage Running website, you can see where that's categorized on the intensity spectrum chart. And it's basically, for me, it's going to be a little slower than marathon pace, probably, at least on the uphill part, and then on the way down I'll probably negative split it and speed up a little bit. Might hit marathon pace on the downhill, but it's not to tax myself. It's more of a maintenance workout at this point. For other people, if you run over like 3:20 in the marathon, it's probably more of a, it could be faster than marathon pace. It's going to be this notch, basically slower than your lactate threshold pace, which is a pace that you'd be able to hold in an all-out race for about an hour. So for me, that's closer to half marathon pace, and so up-tempo is actually slower than marathon pace. But if you've run over 3:20 in the marathon, your up-tempo pace is probably a little faster than your marathon pace, but it's slower than your half marathon pace. So it's this kind of comfortably steady state, as Arthur Lydiard would term it, steady state effort, looking at the basically 78 to about 83, 84% of your maximum heart rate. So it's kind of the aerobic threshold, so to speak, not the lactate threshold or the anaerobic threshold, but the aerobic threshold. And that's kind of the purpose of this workout. I'll warm up with about 2.5 miles down the creek path, and then I'll come back up with 3 miles uphill. It's a slight net uphill on the Boulder Creek path at this moderate effort, and then turn around and go 3 miles down with a little bit of a downhill finish to hopefully get the legs turning over a little faster. For Boston, the leg turnover on the downhills is what I'm most concerned about, so it's kind of a last stimulus for that. But I'm not beating up the quads a crazy amount, and I'm also going to be carrying my GoPro along with me for the workout, so you could see it firsthand, POV. And it might be a little rough, you might get a little nauseous, so brace yourself. I also wanted to add, I've been drinking plenty of water. Gotta stay hydrated. Get this bad boy ready. Alright, so I just warmed up on the Boulder Creek path for about 2 miles before the workout here. I'm carrying the GoPro, and I had to laugh at myself because it reminded me of when I was interviewed on Ginger Runner Live with Ethan Newberry. Awesome guy, great films, you should check him out, Ginger Runner. He had mentioned about maybe carrying a GoPro during a marathon, or like during LA maybe, I think, but it's just, when you're running low 5-minute mile pace, I guess you're running economy. Your efficiency really gets destroyed when you have to carry any extra weight, and even this lightweight GoPro, I'll see how ridiculous it is today running about 5:30 pace, but it just totally destroys you. And even opening up a gel is a big hassle, and when you're going for an Olympic trials qualifying time and every second counts and things like that. So it's ironic because coming from ultra trail marathons,
I'm used to carrying a 20-ounce handheld, Ultimate Direction handheld in my hand and popping all sorts of gels, but the velocity really does matter, and the extra efficiency, I think, it really hurts you if you're carrying a camera. So I'm not going to carry the GoPro at Boston, I guess, is what I'm saying, but I will carry it for this workout. And I don't have my gimbal today, so this footage probably isn't going to be very smooth, but it's about 12 o'clock, and we're going to start out here down by the CU track, go up to Ebon-G Fine Park, 3 miles up tempo, probably be around 5:30 mile splits, and then come back down, hopefully closer to marathon pace to get some leg turnover. But we'll see what the heart rate data reads. Also on Strava, I got my Garmin 620 on. We'll see if it's accurate today. So here we go. All right, here we go. 3 miles up, no strides, I'm just rolling into it. Coming up on the first mile split. Heart rate is 162, 527. Coming up on 2 miles here. Library. Heart rate's 164. Let's see what the split is. 530. It's the bridge at Ebon-G Fine Park. Coming up on 3 miles. I guess we're going past the edge of the park. Heart rate 165. Mouth of the canyon. Should split soon. 539. Pretty uphill. Now we go downhill. Try to keep the heart rate in check. Probably lower it the downhill. .514. 4th mile split. Heart rate's 165 still. Simmer down. 521, 5th mile. Up on the 6th mile here. Heart rate's 165. Tried to keep it under 165 for the most part. Legs are a little tired and stiff today. The GoPro is definitely unsure, I think. Let's see what the split is. 514. It's good. You can stop that. So yeah, it was a nice, beautiful day in Boulder. A little crowded on the bike path, but it's a Friday afternoon, so what do you expect? People enjoying their day, like me. It's a great day to be alive. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little cool down. I just decided during the workout that I'll probably extend my cool down, do like 3 or 4 miles up the canyon. My legs are a little tired because I've been running up and down the canyon, getting a little elevation change each day as well as downhill strides. So we'll be doing that, and see, it'll be 6 miles for the workout, 2 for the warm-up, 2 back to the library. It's 10 miles, so then yeah, I'll do 3 up the canyon, make it a 13-mile day, call it quits. No doubles today. I went to the woods because I wish to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life. I butchered that quote. Henry David Thoreau. It wasn't even a quote, it wasn't even a paraphrase. It's horrible. I just gotta stop now. It's time to eat lunch. Alright, so 1:22 p.m. I just walked in the door from the run, and now it's time to get a Yugo bar in my system. Let's see, I'll go with the Wanderlust flavor today. I'm also gonna drink some water, gotta stay hydrated. Getting pretty hungry and thirsty now. Alright, so forgive me for the lighting, it's atrocious. I had to shut the blinds because I'm backlit, but this is my usual stretching routine. I spend a couple minutes at least stretching, some days a lot more than others if I go to yoga with Sandy, which is not very often. But I do try to stretch out my hips with this great stretch that Sandy taught me. I think it's a yoga type of stretch. Arms up. It's really good for my hips, and my hips get stiff first, so definitely do that. Try to hit the major muscle groups. I'm not going to show you my stretching routine because We have videos on that, and there'll be more to come too, so stay tuned for more from both of our channels. Running Well to Believe as well. Stretch the hamstrings. The hamstrings were a little tight today. And then definitely stretch the calves a little bit. You could even lean into this, but a couple different ways to stretch the calves. I usually don't stretch them as much because they're not as much of a problem issue, so it is kind of an individualized thing. And then of course I always do a little bit of ab work every day. In college I used to do 8-minute abs twice a day, but now I do 2-minute abs. So just the standard sit-ups like this, kind of work. I'll do like 20 reps, and then legs up like this. And Sandy always makes fun of my form because it's not very hardcore ab routine. And then sometimes I'll even, to stretch the hips out, I'll do that, but this really hurts because I'm really weak. So, you know, things like that. And I'll do this for 5 minutes at least, and some days I'll do extra hip exercises, which we could touch into in a different video. But I'm gonna get this done now so I can make lunch because I'm getting hungry. Refrigerator here. Alright, so for lunch here, it's 1:57 p.m. Got a couple more glasses of water. We're gonna have an egg. Nice happy eggs from Happy Chickens. Organic. They were free to roam about, supposedly. Happy chickens make happy, healthy eggs. And then have a piece of bread. This toast. I like this bread because it's got sprouted grain. It's got a good source of protein with beans and lentils. Does it really have beans and lentils in it? I need to check the ingredient list of what I'm eating now. It's embarrassing. And then some field greens on the side, which I'll dress with Udo's oil, or 7 Sources, Flora Health 7 Sources, as well as some balsamic vinegar, and probably some extra olive oil drizzled on the side to cook the egg as well. And while I'm waiting for this stuff to cook, I'm gonna eat this guy. Put the leopard. Good. I don't even like bananas that much, but it's refreshing to eat. Alright, so it's 2:12 p.m. Finally eating my lunch. And we got an egg on some toast drenched in Flora 7 Sources, good omega-3 source, fatty acids, and some spinach and other mixed greens on the side, topped with cashew nuts, raw cashews, and some sesame seeds, balsamic, just straight up balsamic vinegar, and some more oil. Then I sprinkled some red pepper, black pepper, this great salt, and I'm going to go to town. This nutritional yeast, good source of B12, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on top of everything. Time to eat. Oh, I should also add, with this meal, usually I'd have half an avocado as well on top of my salad or my bread, but we ran out of avocados, so I gotta go to the store today too. Avocados are gold. So I'm gonna eat now. Right now I got my data uploading on Strava.com, so I can analyze my workout data while I eat, and then I'll probably go into a couple hours of work sitting here in my nice comfy office chair. I should know, being a Bachelor of Science in Ergonomics, that this is a horrible way to sit. You gotta sit with good posture and have a chair that keeps your hips open and angles them down to be better. Not a very ergonomically friendly environment for working on the laptop, but I do spend a lot of time here on my laptop doing things like email, consider some things on social media, work, as well as editing videos, coaching, writing, things like that. So got a couple hours in the afternoon here to buckle down on that after I eat. Let's look at the Strava data real quick. So we're on my profile here on Strava.com. You can see this workout. 6 mile up tempo. I did the warm up and cool down as separate activities, so you can see the map even where I went. The mile splits with the elevation gain and loss as I went out, uphill, downhill, so that's cool. And this is my favorite screen. Turn on the heart rate. Try to keep it at up tempo pace. I can even turn on the cadence. Really cool thing with the Garmin 620. And you can see as we go along here, we started off the heart rate obviously went up right from the gun, but then it kind of held pretty steady in the low 160s. Kind of got up to 165, I guess, on the uphill there, halfway point. Then I turned around and kept it in the low 160s, coming back down. Of course, speeding up because it was a slight downhill. You could see the grade there, and then this pink line is the cadence. So right around 180 steps per minute
which is real good, especially on the downhill because I kind of have a loopy stride, but really good, consistently what I wanted there, I guess, with the heart rate. Maybe a little too high of a heart rate for true up tempo, but I wasn't crossing the lactate threshold. That, for me, that usually occurs around 168, 170 beats per minute, and the splits were relatively close to marathon pace, at least on the downhill part, so that was good. The uphill's a little more dicey with all the curves in the trail and the little hills, but not too crazy with the elevation gains. So that's what we see there on the Strava data. Always fun to analyze. Alright, so it's 4:41 p.m., so it means it's snack time. I got my little cup of coffee. I can't have too big of a cup of coffee now or I'll never fall asleep, but I love to have afternoon coffee and something sweet with my coffee. So I roasted another piece of toast and I topped it with some of the Flora Health Manuka honey, as well as some cinnamon. Good old cinnamon all over that. So that's what I'm eating now. Alright, so now we're walking to Pearl Street downtown. It's a little after 7 p.m. Beautiful evening to stroll. We're going to Mountain Sun, and it's going to be packed because it's Friday night and it's Boulder. And that's a good place to go, so I'll probably have to wait. But that means I'll just grab a beer. Saying you'll get a drink too. And yeah.
Usually we don't go out to eat, but it's Friday night, it's the weekend, so we're eating at Mountain Sun. But I usually would eat something like what I just ordered, black bean burger, vegetarian option, and I would drink beer. It's not an Avery, but it's good. So there's my dinner. Guacamole, avocado, black bean burger, on a bun with some chips. This is my dessert here, gelato, downtown Boulder. It's great, pistachio and chocolate.
Alright, so it's a little after 1 a.m. now, and I guess the day's technically over, but I'm still eating. I'm going to have my typical midnight snack here, which I'll show you in a second, with some tea. Alright, so here's the snack. The typical toast I made before with almond butter, and then the special jam jelly that Sandy made us yesterday. It's got berries in it and chia seeds. Make it a nice consistency, and almond butter, and then some Flora Health ginger tea. Helps me sleep. Of course, there's a party going on upstairs with the college students that live up there. Always nice, but it is Friday night, and you know, today was a pretty average eating day, I guess, for me, in terms of what I ate for breakfast and lunch at least. And obviously we did go out to dinner, which is we probably do once or twice a week, and got gelato too, which I usually wouldn't do, but I usually have some sort of veggie stir fry here, or something with rice or pasta or pizza, with a lot of vegetables, and then something sweet kind of for dessert, and maybe a beer or two. A lot of days, I'll admit. Another indulgence, I should say, of the day. But this is my last little snack, midnight snack, 1 a.m. snack, and I like to have this before I go to bed. So thanks again for following along, a day in the life. I know it was a long video, but really appreciate all the supportive comments and all the views and subscriptions. So thanks for following along, and stay tuned for more via 2Max Productions.